Oh, no. Um, I wasn't spying on the neighbors. No, no. Um, I can see all the way to Massachusetts from my studio. Let me see if I can show you. I don't know if you can see that or not, but I bet you I can see, like the song says, for miles and miles and miles. I bet you I can see probably 25 miles, maybe even more, because those are um, the Berkshires, and they're like 25 miles out, I think, a little more. Anyway, welcome to the Writer's Life, place where we get the sights, sounds, smells, taste of my particular writer's life. Where you get the truth about the writer's life. What else? Oh yes, subscribe and already. Punch the like button, tap the bell, spank it. Ooh. Ooh. Ah. For notifications so you don't miss out on one single exciting video. I'm in a silly mood. I think because I've been working since like 7. And I got to run a couple of errands and shite like that. Go to vincandrew.com. vincandrew.com. Right there. Pick up all the new thrillers. Passion Play is a new release alert. Passion Play Handyman Season 4 Episode 1 is now out there, and I haven't read it since I wrote it, and naturally I had to read it, for editing purposes and stuff like that, and it's good. I think it's the best season ever. I think it's the final season. At least that's what I intended it to be, but who knows. I always say stupid shit like that, and then I do something else. I do the opposite. I got to make sure you get all my good stuff in there so that I am a really successful writer. What I want to talk about today, something I've already talked about a million times. What you need to do to be a success in this business. Unfortunately, it's not glamorous. It's not the glamour of the major publisher picking you up, giving you $100,000 or $200,000, $250,000, like I got. Chances are that's not going to happen to you. In fact, I'm going to tell you right now, it's like an impossible dream now, in this day and age. And of course, I've spoken about that ad nauseum as well. And if you want to make it without having to teach, which sucks. Let's face it, teaching sucks. Or without having to have another type of job, you're going to have to set up your own publishing company. Now you have a choice here. You can be really entrepreneurial, and you can publish other people's work along with your own. Every time I've been involved with either an agent or a publisher who publishes his or her own material, it's always been a disaster for me, because I immediately am of the opinion that they're going to push their books first before me. It's human nature, absolutely human nature. So therefore, several writers have inquired about me publishing their work, and the closest I've come is sort of producing or being executive producer, which means I was completely hands off for Ben Sobiek when he wrote 2 or 3 novels in the Chase Baker series. It's almost like fan fiction. He did a great job, but we just want to expect. I wanted to experiment. Like, you want to write in Chase Baker Land, see what happens, and he did. He wrote like 2 or 3 books that were really cool, and they're still for sale there. But that's as close as I've come, and I'm never going to do anything even close to that anymore. Doesn't mean I want to don't want to venture into like maybe some video or movies and stuff like that, TV eventually. That's all in the future. But for now, I'm just building up my list and building up my list and building up my list, which leads me to, you can do all sorts. You can try all sorts of shortcuts. You can try all sorts of avenues, all sorts of marketing. But the best way to make a really solid income in this business is to write one book after the other, one story after the other, one novella after the other, one short thriller after the other, and have fun doing it. If you're not having fun, it sucks. Go, work at McDonald's and get $20 an hour in New York State until they fire you, which is going to happen because you're going to be replaced by a machine. Just like I've seen like in Paris and parts of Italy. Not that I go to McDonald's a lot, but tangentially speaking, you wouldn't believe this, but when you're in Europe, for one of those extended stays that I do, and say like you've been eating great Italian food for 3 weeks or French food, which are very different, by the way. Sometimes, it's so good, it's so fresh, and it's so good for you, right? But then you start I don't know if it's because I'm an American and I was raised on crap, essentially, because I was a boy in the 70s and then I was a teenager in the 80s and all that sort of stuff. You went to McDonald's all the time, Burger King. When Wendy's came out, that was almost like the healthier alternative. I'll never forget it. They kind of build themselves as like we use real meat and we we do all this stuff that makes it healthier. It was supposed to be like there was McDonald's, there was Carol's back then too. Anybody remember Carol's? If you remember Carol's, chime in. I don't know if Carol's was like a New York State phenomena, but we didn't get In-N-Out Burger. Those were still on the West Coast. Five Guys were in the Midwest. We got all the other stuff. But I remember distinctly when Burger King came out too here. I was like 5. And that was supposed to be a healthier alternative to McDonald's. And then when Wendy's came out in like the late 70s, that was going to be the healthier alternative to both those two. Anyway, I actually didn't like Wendy's at first because I thought it tasted too much like mom's hamburgers. I was like, this sucks. This tastes like home cooking. I want my fast food to taste like shit. Right. But anyway, what I was getting at, like when I'm in Europe, I crave sometimes McDonald's or Burger King. And in Florence, for instance, across the street from the train station at Santa Maria Novella, there's a Burger King. There's a really good Burger King that has like a side window. You can't drive a car there. There's trams run right through it. And, but they have a side window where you can get a Heineken beer and like a couple of cheeseburgers or whatever you want. And it's great. You can sit there and like drink a few beers, have a Burger King. It's so cool. So civilized. But what was I talking about? Yeah, making a living. I suppose whenever I talk about making a living in this business, I just automatically start thinking about traveling in Europe and stuff like that because I never stop. I don't have to stop for anything. I just do it. Like I could do it from anywhere, right? So, but you got to get your mind off of paying for stupid marketing tactics and tons of money for advertising. You know how much money I pay on ads every month between Amazon and the rest of them? Well, first of all, I don't do any. I'm not even on Facebook anymore, so fuck them. I don't care. But I bet you I spend on average $100 a month on ads on Amazon ads. So there's a lot of authors out there who would be shocked at that. They would say, "Well, I make $2,000 a day with my books," and then they look at their like credit card statement, and that day they spent $1,900 on Amazon ads. Dude, that's like the fine print they're not telling you. But I make a profit. I've made sure that I make a profit every day, even if it's a small one. Sometimes it's considerable, but I make a profit every day. And that profit only gets larger. Talk with my hands. My friend and I were talking about this other day. That profit only gets larger with every title you publish. Every single piece of IP that you add to your library, to your canon, if you want to hear me use hoity-toity words. That's all there is to it. It's kind of like, okay, I'm going to go back to Bitcoin, right? Like you could do all sorts of little trades and leverage trades and take risks and be glued to the price all day. The price doesn't fucking matter. What matters is that you're dollar cost averaging every day or every week or once a month. And eventually, if you look at if you zoom out and look at it over time, it inevitably goes up in value. And that's all you need to know. You don't even need to. I mean, I do listen to like several crypto shows because it's interesting for me. But it's noise. It's noise, and it's not evergreen information. I could watch a video in the morning, and the atmosphere, the news is completely old news already. So anyway, but that's all you need to do. I'm writing an essay on this also that I'll publish on Substack. And so don't feel as though you have to spend a ton of money advertising. Don't feel as though you have to spend a ton of money marketing. Try to get book bubs. And if you can't get book bubs, then I would suggest, and I'm not getting paid for this. And also, this is not me telling you how to do stuff. This is entertainment. You do your own research. I'm not your dad. Do your own thing. One effective marketing tactic, if you can't get a book bub, is to get a written word media bargain booksy, say for 99 cents. And then you can stack other promos on top of it, like Hello Books or Just Kindle Books, Kindle Nation Daily. There's a ton of them. Just Google best ebook promo sites, and you'll get them all. And you won't get quite BookBub results, but you'll get pretty good results for about the same amount of money, a little bit less maybe. So that's the extent of my marketing like that. And then you might want to have a Substack page where you give out free information, essays and videos like this. Start a YouTube channel. This to me is like fun marketing. I just have fun doing it. I don't make any money on it. I don't make any money on my Substack really. I make like a couple $100. What am I up to? I'm about up to $500 a year. So but to me this is much more fun than some of the other stuff they want you to do for marketing and all that. And in fact, one dude I'm going to have on hopefully this week, Troy Lambert, for his monthly State of the Union talk. He has a video coming out with Johnny B. Truant, and they talk about this very subject, marketing, which I can't wait to see. But when Troy's on, he'll tell you more about it. All right, so I got stuff to do. I will talk to you guys Wednesday, hopefully. I might have a guest Wednesday, and I might have a guest Friday. Told you I'm getting back to that, and I'm going to do it. All right, you guys. Ciao, ciao. I'll check you later.